I just don't know what's happened to the other people. So never mind. Maybe I just carry on and hope that they will join us soon. And that so the start really was to suggest really why the title spiritual expansion. And to me, it was being aware of the invisible world around us, whether it's around us or in us. And it applies to all our energy centers and all our feelings, or the feelings that we pick up around us. So when I talked about spiritual expansion, it was about learning about the invisible world, about understanding it and being able to work with it, especially at this time, and how we see our day and how we work with our day and how we approach the day. So spiritual expansion was really about just understanding yourself. We will be talking about energy centers, about the energy that moves through us, and also about different things that happen in our mind and our emotions and how that affects us. So I'm hoping that as we go through with the topics, that I will launch the topics each week, and that will give you a chance to think about questions and ask questions and see how you feel about them. I hope to do just a few minutes of talking and then allowing you to ask questions. And it's really about asking questions. It's not about your life story. So we don't really want to go into those sort of things on this. However, you're welcome to ask me via email or something like that. And if you've joined me and you haven't, I haven't got your email address, just let me know. And also spiritual expansion is also about moving forward, about being able to work with yourself and work towards feeling expansive and feeling good about yourself. And as I did the introduction, it was really about coming up to the festive season. We get stressed out for all different reasons. And so to do this during November was to actually give you tools and ways of working with the versions of stress that we have with our family, with the festivities, with staff parties, with all sorts of things, with school holidays, the hot weather, all those wonderful things for us. I say the hot weather because we're in New Zealand, but some of you may be having a white Christmas, but not here. And so it's working towards you being happy and joyful about your life and how it is. So if any of you want to join in, you're welcome to sort of just put something in the chat box to say you want to say something, and then hopefully you're able to say it or put the question in the chat box. So this week, really moving on to the subject of this week, is about giving and receiving. So what I'd like to do to start with is just for us all just to connect at this time, whether you're watching this live or the replay, so that you're actually focused here and giving yourself this time out, which is what it's all about, giving yourself this time out. So what I'd like you to do now is just take a breath, sit comfortably, maybe close your eyes, and just be aware of your breathing. Just allow yourself to breathe and be aware of your breathing. And as you breathe out, just feel yourself just relaxing. So as you breathe in, maybe tense your muscles just a little bit. And as you breathe out, just relax them. Allow yourself to be sitting comfortably, hopefully in a chair. And just feel that breath as you expand your lungs and expel the air as well out of your lungs. And just give yourself a moment for that. So quite a lot of us are really good uh, at giving. So now that I've actually got you here with your breath, I'd like to just talk about how good we are at giving and being in the moment, so especially with the festive season. So when we talk about giving, what is that feeling that you have when you wrap up those presents, or you give to somebody, or you share something with somebody? How do you feel when you're actually giving? And maybe it feels really good for you, just to share something. And do you actually give without expecting something back? Do you actually work towards just being able to give something without a return? Or is part of your learning and part of your culture is to, when you give, that somebody gives back to you? So do you are you able to receive? Are you able to receive gifts from people? Are you able to say thank you? The like, for instance, if you go to dinner somewhere with somebody, or you go to dinner, do you feel obliged to take something with you? Do you feel that you need to always take something? And what happens when someone comes to you? Do you expect them to bring some food to you, or bring something with them? What happens when they don't? What happens if they just turn up and empty-handed, as you might say? So how do you feel then? Is that all part of your culture, this giving and receiving? And one of the things that we sometimes think about is, you think of the feeling that you have when you're giving, and then sometimes we're not very good at receiving. We actually, no, I don't need any gifts. No, don't give me anything. Oh, that's far too overwhelming. But when we do that, we're not allowing that person to have that wonderful feeling that we get when we're giving. We're not sharing how that feels. We're not allowing that wonderful feeling for other people. So think about it in the giving and receiving, and there's going to be so much of that in the in next month, in the festive season, really. And sometimes if you think about receiving and you don't want to receive gifts, if you shut down your ability to receive, it not only shuts down your inability to receive gifts, but any form of receiving, whether that's receiving money, compliments, work, all sorts of things. It doesn't just shut out one section of receiving, it shuts out the whole ability for you to receive. So think about that. One of the things that you're doing, are you shutting out the ability for you to receive within that? So just have a little think about that. If you have any questions on that subject, please just put them in the box to the side, if you can see it. Okay. Just have a little think. And one of the things we also forget to do is maybe nurture ourselves. And with the additional festive season upon us, some of us, not me, but some people, take it on as a responsibility to organise the family to get together, or organise the lunch, or organise all of it. And then what happens is you get overloaded. Is there one of those things about families at Christmas that you always go to someone's house for Christmas and they always cook the lunch, or they always do afternoon tea or supper? And when you get there, they're exhausted or stressed because so many people have turned up without anything. So many people have just turned up expecting them to do something. And so over the years, they get upset that there is no expecting. Everyone expects them to do something. Everybody expects them to always do Christmas lunch, or everyone expects the whole family always to get together on that day. And maybe, just maybe, people don't want to get together on that day. And it creates such a concern for families, especially if there's a system whereby you've always done it. And one year you just don't want to. And then you feel guilty that you didn't go, or that you don't want to go, or you don't want to be there. And how do you tell everybody else that you just want a quiet Christmas with yourself, or with friends, or with something else? So that gives us a huge guilt feeling, as well as not asking for assistance or not changing it. So what can we do about that? This is about nurturing yourself. This is about taking care of you. This is about being truthful about how you would like to spend your Christmas. So when we talk about things like that, and about nurturing yourself, it's also about asking. How good are we asking for support if we're the one that does all the Christmas dinner, or they're always there? How are we for asking for support or someone to do something? And we have that wonderful saying where we go, oh, I might as well do it myself because nobody does it like I do. Well, they can't, because you're unique and no one does it like you. Nobody will create things like you. But the objective is really that you have created that there is a meal to eat at the end of the day, or there is something there that has happened. Like, what I'm trying to say is that if somebody else does it, they're not going to do it like you. But the end result is the same, that there is a meal on the table, not quite how you would do it. But one of the things I put together was the word ask. And I just look at my notes. And it's about asking for support with kindness. So ask is A for asking, or allowing. Support with kindness. So that's allowing support with kindness, so that you can get to asking for support for yourself. So some of the things I'm going to leave you with to think about is about gifting, about giving, and about receiving at this time of year, and about nurturing yourself within that and being honest with yourself as to what would suit you best, and how to deal with that guilt of not going where your family traditions send you, or where you feel you have to go. So dealing with those different feelings and sensations and experiences, how can we get through those? Well, one of the things we did when we started was the breathing exercise, which is to stay in the moment. And if you can stay in the true you, which allows you to be who you are, whoever that is, that when you actually go to say something to somebody, if you do that breathing exercises that we started with, and I'll give you another one to do as well, which is to balance you so that you are in the now, so you are in this moment. Because if we start looking at the past and go, we always do this at Christmas, then you're actually looking and bringing forward all the feelings and emotions from the last time you had Christmas dinner with everybody, and that starts you to be emotionally upset, or not upset, maybe you enjoy it. But if you stay in the moment rather than bring forward all the experiences from the past, then you can honestly make a decision about what to do next. And what we do is sometimes we bring the past into the future, which makes us decide, that makes a decision for us at that time, that it's not going to be a good day, or it's not going to be very nice from our past experience. So what I'm suggesting is that you don't do that, that you try and stay in the moment as much as you can during this festive season. So what I've asked you to do is think about giving and receiving, allowing yourself to receive, whether it's support to create the festive season or whatever else it is. So when someone goes to give you something, whether it's a compliment or a piece of paper or a gift, see if you can say thank you. Just thank you for it and really mean it. If somebody compliments you about your hair, say thank you, rather than, oh yeah, it needs a bit of a cut or it needs something done to it. Okay. So we try and say thank you when you're receiving, and asking for help, allowing support with kindness to come to you. Now, the breathing exercise, so that you can stay balanced, is just one that I'm going to give you now, which is you breathe in and out through your mouth just once. So in and out through your mouth, then breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. And then breathe in and out through your nose, and then in through your nose and out through your mouth. In and out through your mouth, in through your mouth and out through your nose. In and out through your nose, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now that particular breathing exercise, if you can do that 3 or 4 times, you'll notice that whole sequence, that you will change, the breath will change, that you'll breathe a little bit deeper, a little bit slower, and you'll start to feel the calmness come through. Just allow yourself to do that and give it a chance, give that breathing exercise a chance. But if you can do it, say those 4 breaths 3 times a day, then that will help you feel calmer and cope with the moments and bring you into this moment. It is also about the balance of earth, air, fire, and water. But I won't go into that right now. That's really just the breathing exercise for you to do. So every time you find a challenge, every time you feel the need to just be in the moment, breathe, but also be aware of yourself, be aware of the receiving, the giving, the nurturing of you at this time, which is very important. Give yourself time out, even if it's just 2 minutes a day. That's really hard for some people. And being, or just sitting, being, isn't about meditating. It isn't about calming the brain. It isn't about stopping that mind chatter. It's more about being, it's about looking at what is around you, using all your senses to hear what is happening, to see what is happening, the smell, the taste, whatever. It's about using your senses, but not getting involved in what is around you. If there is a conversation around you, then maybe you could tune your ears in a different direction and listen to other things in nature. Walking in nature is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing for you to actually focus on the smells, on the look, on the trees, the nature that's around you, and hearing it. So using all your senses to do that and nurture that. That's a part of nurture for you, to be in nature. And if you can't be in nature because you're in a concrete city, then close your eyes and remember the last time you were there. Or use a picture if that works for you. A picture that you've seen before, a picture that you found, photographs of the last time you were in nature. Any of those things, really. So I bring this evening to a close because I noticed that there are some people here, and thank you so much for being here. And I also know that some people are not here that wanted to be here. So I need to sort out my technical things for those people for next time. So thank you to those who've been with me, and have a wonderful week. And I truly look forward to hearing and interacting with you all a bit more this time, 8 o'clock next Monday. So take care, have fun, and love yourself, and live, laugh, and just love your moments. Thank you so much.